Okay. Hi. So this is a bit of a different stream. This is not related to Alienverse, my Ben 10 fan game, so if you're here for that, go. Today I'm going to be making an alien for my other game, Sundown. So I want to start streaming almost every Wednesday. I might miss a couple, where I work on the game, because I haven't been working on it for a little bit, and I really want to get back into working on the game, and I think it'll be fun. So to start off, just to kind of get myself into the groove, I'm going to be doing something pretty simple, which is just making an alien. But I'm going to be doing it using a new style, or a new method, which I talk about in the devlog I just released for the game, so you can go check that out if you want. But yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. It's probably going to be a lot more chill than my normal streams, because there probably won't be a lot of people in the chat, and I'll probably be focused on the model I'm making. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to first, model the alien, then I'm going to UV unwrap them, which you need to do before texturing them, and then of course I'm going to texture them, and then after that I'll rig them and maybe even make some animations. We'll see how much time I have today. But yeah, I'm just going to start doing that. So the first thing I wanted to do was to pick what alien to make, because I have a design document. Also, if there's any audio issues, please tell me. I'm not good at this stuff yet. So this is my design document where I have listed out pretty much everything I want to have for the game. And today we're doing a fauna. And yeah, if anyone's in the chat and has an idea on what I should work on, you can just tell me. So most of these I have not modeled, as you can see a couple I have. But this guy right here, this is the original model before I decided to make it a more low poly art style. So this guy could be fun, the geode beetle. Could do that. This guy's so stupid looking. Or the ash toad, that would actually, honestly, if no one says anything, I'm gonna go with this guy, because I really like the idea I was going for with that design. Obviously, it'll be a bit less frog-like. We got the glare crab, thunderbug. This guy's made. I did model this one, I just haven't added it to the document yet. Nope. Okay, it has frozen up. Awesome. Yeah, I guess I'll go with the ash frog. Which is this one. So just to read, or ash toad, sorry. Just to read what their sort of idea, the idea behind them is that they live in a molten biome. I think it's called the molten steppe. Yes. And they actually eat the ash, and then they compress it with like a muscular organ, which then secretes onto the skin, onto the outside of its skin on its back, which hardens into an armor. And so this is used against uses protection against some of the flying creatures in this biome, like the pyro flyer. So that's the idea behind them. So yeah, the first thing I do when I want to model something is I get up my reference sheet. I'm going to bring that up. Oh, sorry if there are any stream issues. I just got a warning that's saying that the encoding was being overloaded. Okay. So here is my reference sheet. Got a bunch of aliens on here, from a bunch of different franchises and artists. So for the ash toad, what do I want it to look like? So I'm just going to look at this for a little bit, see what looks interesting, what I think would fit its vibe. This has the molten feel. I was going for it. I don't think tentacles would be needed, but I do like this sort of highlighting on this like fin sort of thing. Oh, these guys are so good looking. Actually, this on my wall, it's right behind me. This side, yeah. Love this piece of art by Wayne Barlow. I don't think it would fit this design. It needs to be something a little bit small, so nothing that has this sort of proportions. We can also look for types of patterns. We might want to use other stylistic flares. This isn't a creature that I think needs eyes, so we're going to look for different types of other sensory organs on some of these designs, or other ways of removing eyes. This has that sort of back shell, but I don't think that's what I want it to look like. I want it to be more Conformist. Ooh, that's cool. Would that make any sense for the creature to have some sort of large shape like this on the head? That could work. Obviously, the mouth shape would have to be different because this creature is going to have to inhale this ash. I do like what's happening here, and I think it would look good with the ash armor. Maybe something like that. So I'm going to pull this one out. There's so many aliens here. This is all one guy. Yeah. Miles are Exobio. Please go check them out. Their aliens are awesome. Ooh, that's sort of what I'm going for. Yeah. They do have eyes. Okay. So, I like the proportions here, though, where they have... I don't even know how to describe it, but they have skin going up a lot higher than you normally see on an alien. There's this long protrusion here with the mouth. Yeah, I think something like that would be neat. We can crop this image. How do you do that? Ooh, I think it's like Alt-4 or something on this program. It's something annoying. That's fine. I got the idea. I've rotated now, which is very annoying to look at. Okay. Any other things I want to take for reference? Anything here that I might want to use? These tentacle feet are awesome. I love this sort of design, but our creature is going to be too small for something like that. No. Well, I think I've already used this sort of this as a reference to some of my other designs, so I don't want to. I do like the highlights it has, these little dots on the skin. I might want to do that. And this is a neat shape. Maybe that could be incorporated. I think we're good. I think these are some good references for this creature. I mean, we should probably get something frog-like, obviously, because we did want this to be a toad, which is just a frog, pretty much. So I could grab an image of a frog, but I think I get the idea. Actually, let's look for a creature with a large mouth, because all of these have pretty small ones. Let's see if there's any interesting designs. I saw this, and I actually, you know what, yeah, this is perfect, that sort of design. So, I'm going to take these three images, I'm going to put them to the side now, so I can look at them off screen. And we're going to start with modeling. So, usually, in the past, the way I would model was I would start by sculpting in ZBrush, and then I would retopologize that sculpt in Blender to have the low poly version, and then I would bake the details from the ZBrush high poly sculpt onto the lower poly one, and then start texturing it. But what I've been trying out is just straight in Blender, just modeling it like with the editing tools, and using some subdivision to make it smoother. So we might just be doing that. So we're gonna need that, and then we'll also need to mirror for this design. Yes, and I think I ordered those wrong. No, that's right, yeah. Okay. Awesome. So, first, let's look at these. I'm going to create the basic body shape. Let me just pull up a couple more reference images. One second. I just want to pull up my original model as well, so I can look at that. Okay. And I haven't really done this workflow much, so it's probably not going to be the greatest. I'll probably have to do a bunch of touch-ups, but let's just try it out and see what we can create. And if you have any suggestions, please tell me in the chat, which hopefully is working. Okay. We can have the head come out from here. Maybe have it grow a bit. That. And we can also give it some separation with second loop here. Or 2 loops. We can bevel this actually. And I'll remove a bunch of these vertices once the subdivision is over. No, I'll keep it like that for now. That's fine. I do like this though. Let's do that. Yeah, just to get the form right, and then we can reduce the poly count. Okay. So we want the torso to continue down. Shrink down a bit, and then we're going to have another edge loop here. I think we can... We'll keep that for now. And yeah, let's get to adding in the legs. So I think the best way of doing that at this stage would be to inset like this. There. This is looking so dumb so far. But trust, this is the process. Okay. So we have inset them, so now we need to make them into squares. To do that, I think we can switch some of these things around. Yep, there we go. Bring them out. Now I can select them and then go back to global, to Z, and now they're flat, but let's actually do that at medium points so that they are at the same position. Go out a bit, an edge loop in there. Now we have some knees. Alright. Okay. Hey, so something's happening. Something's happening. Looking back at the references, I'm trying to figure out which aspects I want to take. I do quite like, actually, the very stubby legs that this guy has. So I might want to do that. You actually can put this on your screen, which I don't do often because it's annoying, but let's try doing that so we can see them while I'm working. I believe it's... You can find it here. Where is it? No, there's an option here. Overlay selection? Yes, okay. And now they're gone. Okay. How do I... That's not what I wanted. I wanted it to just be these images. There we go. Perfect. You can put them here. Actually, that works really well. And now I just need to make it so that they stay on the screen, which I think... How do we do that? Always on top. Yes, and then we just have to do transparent to mouse, so we... Actually, no, we can have it so they're interactable. Okay. So, yes, I love how stubby this guy is. Really wish I could crop if I remembered how to do that, but... Oh, I just flipped it somehow. But, yes, you see he's got those short little legs. I'm going to try and do something like that. Let's put this guy up here for now. We're going to work with him. And these legs are definitely pretty much like as much out of proportion as you can get, so let's definitely shrink them down. And this process will probably take a long as of all this, just because you really want the model to be as good as you can get it, or I can get it, before you get to the other steps, because it's hard to fix things at that point. I'm gonna do an edge loop here, and then extrude out from this side to create that back bit of the foot. That's nice. Okay. And I know overall this isn't looking good, but that detail definitely works. Hi Sonic Sans. Okay. And how do we get the knee bit coming out from here? Can we rotate this edge? Yeah, but we do need a second one then. That. Yeah. What if we bring belly down a little bit too? Okay. I think these front feet are looking okay now. We'll get back to the head. Yeah, we'll get back to the head very soon because I'm gonna redo all that. For the back legs, general shape I think I can keep. We can do an edge loop here so that they're fully flat. I don't know why I selected that. Oh, way too far apart. Let's fix that real quick. And then, what do we want the back feet to look like? I do want this creature to have claws, and I suppose if these front feet are like this, then the back feet are the ones that have to have claws. So let's give them claws. We'll do that after. I think we can start kind of outlining the body proportions now. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa! Okay. Hold your horses. Okay, how do I get rid of these? Because that did not seem to work well. Okay, now it is. Let's get rid of those, and then this whole face. Okay, okay, that's already looking better. Let's inset, and then we'll, click on the settings and switch it to... What is the setting we want? There we go. Boundary. Just so they can be combined. Hopefully that's not an issue. I'm seeing a little bit of Z fighting there. No, it's not. Okay, and now we're going to extrude out the mouth. And let's also angle this differently. A bit more, yeah, like that. We need to catch more of these vertices when we do it. Okay. I am liking what's happening here. And for the mouth shape, we're gonna look at this guy. So let's hold off for 1 second. Let's get to the belly. This creature is very... I think I did angle them too much. I don't think they needed that much angling, because this guy has this large shell on the back, which we're not going to have, and the angling doesn't really make sense without that. So let's try and flatten it a little bit. Let's try proportional editing for that. Okay, that did work. So there we go. And for the belly, we definitely want it to sink down. But do we want to do from there? Do we want to wait till we have subdivided it, or what? I think that works. And then we'll just work on it from the top here, try and get the proportions looking good. You stream on Twitch? So I was for the past couple streams, but for this one I didn't, just because I've been having issues with Twitch streams. But I can start it right now, actually. The issues I've been having are mainly that it's not letting me control anything about the stream, because I'm using like a free multi-stream thing. It doesn't let me control anything about it, so it'll just start the stream without title or without category or anything like that. Hi Dave the bro. Yeah, let me try and set up real quick. I had some issues with OBS earlier, so it might not work, but okay, the stream just started on Twitch, so now I am streaming on Twitch if you want to see that. But okay, back to this guy, which I know is very simplistic at the moment. I think all of those proportions are okay at the moment. You know, actually, I might want to lift up the back a little bit. Like that. Okay. And if we go off of the mode, we can see what it looks like. I'll be honest, I'm not loving everything about this so far, but that's okay. We just keep working, and eventually we get something that looks okay. So I definitely want to change these back legs. I'm not liking what's happening here. What can we do? That's kind of interesting. Oh, thanks for following, Sonic Sans. I think, did you do that on Twitch? Like, I have a multi-chat thing, so I just see. Yeah. Okay. What if we increase the size? Yeah, let's go back. Let's do that edge loop that we did earlier. And then increase the size. Base. We want them to be going forward, not that much. Then move this edge loop maybe. Let's try a couple more edge loops. Okay, that looks better. So we're getting lots of bad topology here. Just a lot of bending going on. And I do think we can honestly just shift the whole legs inwards a bit, so that's okay. No, yes. Oh yeah, okay, so that fixes those issues and does make it look a bit better. I'm liking what's happening with the legs now. I think we can still shrink down these a bit. We didn't have to make them as big as we did. And hi FanFits. Yeah, we're right now modeling an alien. That's what the stream is going to be. Well, modeling, rigging, texturing, all that stuff. UV unwrapping, all that. So, I don't here. Let's fix something here. I'm noticing. Yeah, that looks better. Okay. This reference I'm using is a very low down belly, which I don't think we want. Because not looking good, to be honest. Well, I mean, hey, that doesn't look too bad. Maybe just a little bit lower down we could try. Okay. We can start doing the details to the feet now, I'd say, and then we'll get to the face at the end, something like that. Okay. For now, let's just remove this edge loop again, just because we're about to do a... How are we going to do this? Actually, no, let's keep the edge loop, move it up a bit, and then we can extrude this out. Now we're going to start getting some of the details into those feet. Okay. Like this. Bring all this stuff out. Okay. And I think we do want to get that split. Just got Storm Symbiote skin in Rivals, that's cool. Do we want to shrink that all the way? Yes. And then we re-add the edge loop? Yeah. Now it looks like he's wearing shoes. But I think I'm going to try something which I haven't really done before, where I make the modifications after the subdivision. Which does make a lot of sense, honestly. And let's move over to the front with the head here, and then I'm just going to keep working on the base until it looks nice, but definitely getting somewhere. So, and we are going to add this cool detail to the head too, but let's start with the mouth. That's too big. Okay. So, this mouth's pointed downwards, which I think we could do for sure, yeah. We raise this up a little bit. And then we can also point the mouth downwards. We need another edge loop here. No. We can just increase the size of this. So this is what the actual model looks like if you take away the subdivision, which I know is a lot goofier. Your hair looks like Weird Al Yankovic. I can see that. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. He's cool. I don't think the Hawaiian shirt's really helping the Weird Al Yankovic allegations. That's a compliment? Yeah. That's what I got. That did not do anything. Why did that edge loop not do anything? There, okay. How do we get that exact shape? We can pull this birdseed down. Oh, no, 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 no. Pull this down as well. Move this up. Okay, okay. Shapes are shaping. Okay, and then what we can do is we can flatten all of these. Okay, something's happening here. Something's happening. We can flatten these by switching to normal, and then on the x-axis, and scale it. Did that flatten it? It did. Okay. So now, for the scary part, I'm gonna inset back, and now we have the mouth shape. And I think that works. And if we add an edge loop here, that gives it a lot of definition, which you probably won't be able to keep once we start getting rid of some of these edge loops after the subdivision. But yeah, hi purple mix, we're making an alien. Okay, sure, I think that mouth looks good. Okay, now let's try and get this sort of head detail now, because I just think that looks really nice and it's going to work with some of the texturing. But I also want to go back to this and see how the head is separated from the rest of the body, because they did a really good job with that. Or how the eyes are kind of separate. It does make me wonder if I want to make the armor part of the actual mesh and not just in the texture. But I don't think so. Although accounting for the armor, I should probably raise some of this a bit. It'll look weird now, but with the armor, it might look a little bit better. This is way too top heavy though. So maybe we do that, and then we can increase the size of the back legs. Is that anything? I don't know. I'm just messing around right now, seeing what looks neat. I do actually like that. I think that's a better look for the body. Now, where do we want it to be thin, and where do we want it to be a bit thicker? No, not there. That's fine, yeah. And without subdivision, it looks like this. Okay. So yes, back to the head. I think what we're just going to need to do now is extrude out from here. And we can start doing some extra detailing on this bit. Okay. Actually, I think something's happening here. So, yeah, I really want that antler sort of design here. I really like that look. I'm just thinking about the best way to model this. We extrude, and then we can start. Okay. Oh, I just hit my mic. Sorry. Okay. Something's occurring. So yeah, we can just have fun now and get that design in order. And this is too large for sure. Yeah, well, let's shrink this down. My computer just started whirring. I wonder which action I took did that. How do we make this a bit less big? Yeah, we can just take this whole structure and do this. That'll be better. Okay. And we can actually shrink this each time we extrude it. And the best way of doing this would just be to move it to the over here, and then we can bevel. We'll do that. Yeah. Actually, that's fine on its own. This is starting to look like a unique design. And obviously, I'm pulling from a lot of different sources here, but together, becoming something unique. How do we get that sharp bit at the end there? We might have to wait until after the subdivision for that. And it still is a bit big. And, you might want to change the front here or something. We'll see. Yeah, let's do that actually. But okay. Oh, we can just extrude and then sharpen. Like, make it really small to sharpen it at the end. That might be it. Okay. Yeah, for now this works. Well, let's hold off real quick and see. Do we want to make any changes to that sort of shape? Because I don't want to... I'm not trying to copy anything, like, exactly. For this creature... Actually, honestly, this shape is pretty perfect because I want to have this sort of design. If you look at the frog here, they have this sort of rib cage like look on them, which works with this crescent moon shape. And maybe we don't want it to work together, because then that would seem like it's too planned out. It's not organic. Well, let's just mess around with some shapes and see what looks nice. That's something. Actually, yeah, we can do something like this. We select all of these, and then we can shrink them down, because I still think it was a little bit too big. Lots of topology things I'll have to fix in a second, but... yeah, I think we're going for there. Okay. Now to fix these topology issues, let's turn off subdivision. We don't need this big piece coming out here. Don't need that at all. Just strain that all out. And this can protrude too. Okay. Let's just check it out real quick in that mode, or object mode. Shade smooth, see what it would look like. Okay. Let's add some depth to these horn, antler, whatever things on the top here. And I think we're going to leave this room right here for some texturing. I don't think we're going to need to do any modeling up here. We can test some stuff out. Like, what would go in this space? Yeah, like, I could do something like that, but it's just... I don't think there's really a reason to, and I can just... Well, hold on. That kind of looks neat. Makes it seem like the mouth is, like... inset and is, like, coming out in a really cool way. It's like it's a mouth inside of a mouth. I like that, actually. If we can keep that... Well, it's still... with it still being low poly, that might be nice. Okay. And for the mouth, do we want to... increase the size, decrease the size, change the shape. That's okay for now. Let's go back to these horns, and we can just give them a bit of depth. So a way to do that, honestly, would just be to angle them, because right now they're perfectly straight. I'm trying proportional editing now. And then we can just give them a bit of depth as well. Okay. This is not at all what I was expecting to make, but that's just kind of how the malls always go. They never really turn out how I initially think. I definitely don't think I've done anything like this before. So, yeah. But okay. I think the front is looking pretty nice. The back, though, I do want to start working on some more. Let's see. What would it look like if we made it longer at all? Does that help it? I think it hurts it, honestly. Can we make it stubbier? I think stubbier might be better. And then what do we do with... I always don't know what to do with the back right here when I have this base. I think it can just... Okay, it could go up. That could be something. But that's really leaning into this curved look for, which you might want to do. Might not want to do that much, but we can lift it a little bit. And let's pull back a little small bit. Just so we have some room for the armor to show once we get to that. Okay. We can put this... Well, do we want to put it down, or do we want to maybe add an extra detail? I do really like that sort of thing they had going. Do you want to try something like that? Actually, I do, but I'm going to do it using a new method, which is really only possible because I'm doing this in Blender, which is something I talk about a little bit, very small amount, in my new video. So we'll leave this like this for now, but we're going to add some extra details later. Should this have a tail? Do I give this guy a tail? Is that anything? You guys tell me. Or I can just try. Honestly, I think so. I'm not doing this in the most professional way, obviously. Like, if you're really making an alien for like a studio, you're gonna have a lot of ideas going into about what you're gonna do, and there's not a lot of wiggle room for the freeform stuff I'm doing. But because I'm just like having fun and all, I can like, this is fine. I find working like this just be a lot more fun. And let's start, yeah, rounding out. Yeah, design a little bit. I do think we want to go for a spike tail, not like this, but I had an idea for this creature to kind of stick itself in the ground, and I think a spiky tail would be good for that. But what do I want it to look like? Do we inset, extrude, size down? That's just very, very simple. Yeah? As Purple Expert, are we responding to the tail thing? I think you were. We can save tail for after subdivision. Let's say that. So we're gonna work on the feet a bit after subdivision, tail, and then I think after that we'll be pretty much ready to UV unwrap, or yeah. But I do just want to go back to these feet one last time and see if there's anything I can do to make them look better, because I still am not a huge fan of them. They look very dog-like right now, right? And I don't really like that. I can do this. I mean, sure, that's a bit better maybe. But what if it dipped down a bit? And then like came back up. And forward. Now we can see if we can try bending it the other direction. Instead of back, we can do forward. What's that? What does that give us? Not a big change, really. Doesn't seem to impact it. Let's go back to looking at this edge loop. Is there any way we can manipulate this to give it a more interesting shape? Okay. That's something. But not using that edge loop. If we separate this a little bit. We can use something like that. It's like he's wearing pants. Okay. We're gonna add claws here, and then for these feet, what was the plan? Let's look at this, see what they did. So little feetsies, little toes, not feetsies, toes. I don't know why I said that word. I regret saying that word. Can we do that now at all? I don't think we can really with this level of detail. Like, yeah. I mean, I could create some more faces to work with, but I think it's best to subdivide now. Oh, I just removed subdivision. Okay. Oh, yes, we need to apply the mirror first. There we go. Okay. So this is what we're working with, and this is just a bit too much geometry for my game. So we're going to be working on that, as well as adding in some extra details. Okay. Yeah, like, there's no reason for this many vertices, or this many loops. So we can just start working on removing these, and then we can also even all these faces out at the end. Oh, and we're not mirroring yet, so let's just fix that. Okay. And you can exaggerate some of the details as well, just to justify them being modeled rather than textured on. Cool. This is not great, topology-wise. Not great, but it should be okay. And this is mainly just like a fun thing. We'll see if this... I mean, no, so far it's looking like something I can use, but just in case it's not. I mean, this isn't too high stress. Can I remove this first? See? This loop. I can move that one. Yeah, that looks better without it, for sure. Okay. And any of these body loops seem like they can... No, they all seem important here. The tail can be simplified. Here's... Okay, I'm about to get a horrible idea from McDonald's fries. It'd be interesting to see how it'd turn out. This model? Or what? What specifically would be interesting to see how it turned out? Let's remove one of these. All tomorrow's playlist for Alienverse. Oh, like the that book. I actually haven't read it. I should read it. I mean, I wouldn't do that, but I get the idea. I think the tail's fine right now. Wait, no, we want to add the spiky bit. Let's do that. Wait. Sorry, I just hate that we're below the plane there. So let's raise up our model a bit. Okay, now we gotta experiment with how we want this tail to look. What sort of spiky should I go for? We extruded all of the vertices except for those last two. No. If we inset all of these, kept them going, and then through the bottom here. Just wait with me for a second. What's All Tomorrows? All Tomorrows is a like a speculative evolution book. If I'm thinking of the right one, about like the future of mankind, and also isn't that the one where there's an alien race that just like messes with humans and other species, or is it just humans? Like it puts us on like different planets and stuff and messes with our biology, so you get a bunch of these crazy creatures. I could be misremembering a lot. It's been a while since I heard about it. I do like the idea I'm going for here, but we need to make some big changes. I think this is gonna turn out okay. So it's this tail that has this spike, but coming down not from the end, but from this the bottom of it. Did that make any sense? The underside of the tail is where the spike comes out. Oh, it's extruding at a very odd angle. Can we work on that at all? Bro, I don't even think I meant to extrude some of these faces. I want to see if I can fix that, but it's going to be a bit tough. Can we remove those? Oh boy. Yeah, no, this is fine. I can redo this. Actually, I think I wanted those. No, I was wrong. Yeah. This gives us an even amount of vertices. Something like that. but we're gonna have to change some of the way this is modeled in a second. What's happening here? Oh. Oh boy, okay. Getting into some weird topology stuff. Ugh, I hate when this happens. It's just because I'm not skilled enough yet to avoid these sorts of issues. Yeah, that may be fine for now. I do like that tail. What game are you making? I'm working on a game called Sundown. I just released a video on it, on some aliens. I do like this, honestly. I think this is looking really neat. Do you guys have any opinions on it? Let's keep that tail for now. Let's start working on the feet. So we want claws. I think we're set on claws. And again, we're gonna have to have sharp bits, which is always annoying to do. So, looking at this topology without having to make any major changes, I could pretty easily just do two claws coming out like this. And it's best to, like, not just work freely like this, I think, but, it's what I usually do, and I think it's gonna work here. And then... There's a better way of doing this, I think. Let's angle it first. And why are we getting such an odd angle? Which is a normal? That? Yes. Oh, okay. I'm getting some weird stuff. I'll do medium point. Does that help at all? Nope, it does not. Local? We'll have to do these two claws separately, I think. So but we can extrude them together. Okay. Angle these out correctly. And then let's fan them up a bit, because they're a bit, misshapen. Nice to have your faces be mostly square when you can. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Rather than think, what's the best way of doing this? It's I either inset at this point or just extrude. I'm gonna try insetting these, then extruding. But that might be a bit too much. Okay, they're going in wildly different directions, so we're gonna have to fix that. First, let's normalize their position. Oh, yeah, for their Z position. Move them both down, and then okay. Actually, I kind of like how far apart they are. Did you inspire these designs? Did you inspire these designs from Altamara's book? Was I inspired by them? I mean, for this model, no, but generally, I do think I was inspired by that book. I think it's a pretty cool book, but I haven't read it personally. I mean, none of you have either. You've seen YouTube videos on it. We're all in the same boat. Let's start, yeah, reducing some of these vertices. Can we do that? I feel like we can. You have McDonald's fries? That's cool. I don't know. But still, yeah? Yeah, I mean, I think broadly. Do we move the claws in at all? Is that cool? Or do we like them fully going out? Because I think this in and out look is cool. Sure. And then, do we round the foot? What does that give us? Mm-hmm. Yep. Let's just do all the faces together. Okay, that's definitely better. We do have a foot design now. Now we can do the front feet, which ironically are the ones facing backwards. Not ironic, because back feet don't usually do that. Whatever. So how do we make these toes look good? I do think that sort of toe look might work. Do we want to do one big toe? No. We could do two toes. If we yeah, do this. No, 10 would re again. Anyways, how big is the dude you're modeling height-wise? This guy's gonna... That's a good question. I can bring in a scale of a human. Just search human. Of this thing, where I can just pick out models, and yeah. Well, let's assume this is... Okay. Is this the size a human's supposed to be? I can check the dimensions of it. Where's that? No, humans are bigger than, aren't they? Or is that... Wait. Height of human meters. Is that... That's about correct, yeah. This guy's way too big right now, I'll say. I don't know why... Huh, okay, yeah. Their actual size is gonna be... something like this. Yeah. Okay. So, back to the toes. We'll shrink down the ends a little bit, just a little bit. We want them to be stubby, so we don't want to do it too much. And then we just conform the rest of the shape of this foot a little bit, so it doesn't seem like I just tacked them on. Even though I did just do that. Yeah. They're still not looking that organic. I really want to move these vertices like this. I'm gonna have to move these ones too. Okay. And then we should probably start flattening out this as well. And do it exactly how this was flattened. So it'll stand correctly. Yes. Wonderful. Yeah, actually that does work. That did work. Okay. Okay, what do you guys think? I know there's not a lot of people in the chat. Well, probably. I haven't even checked the stream. I might be having, you know, a million viewers right now. I'm seeing 2 people watching. 2, yep, okay. Either of the 2 people watching, Do you like the way this is looking? Do you think I can start going on to the next step? You're liking it, Sonic Sans? Okay. Let's fix some of this stretching of the polygons here, because that's real bad. And also work on making it a bit more low poly, and then, yeah. Cool. Sounds like, from one person, that this is looking good. This really is your style, it's cool? Really? Wait, okay, hold on. That's a very nice thing you said. Clarify what you mean. Like, this style of live stream, this style of model, I want to know what you think, because I want to internalize your compliment as much as I can. Everyone's looking at that moth from Godzilla. The moth from Godzilla. Do you mean Mothra? Do they? I actually have not watched a Godzilla movie with Mothra. I've watched Shin Godzilla and Godzilla Minus One. Both are awesome. Godzilla Minus One, my favorite. It's one of my favorite movies. Shin Godzilla was also great. They were definitely, there's a whole different like metaphor that Godzilla was representing, but I really like how it dealt with the bureaucracy around him. Let's look at Mothra. Like the bureaucracy around natural disasters is what I was trying to say. To be honest, I don't really see the resemblance to Mothra at all, but okay. I mean, I can pull up images to show you guys, but I don't think it's even worth it. But okay. Yes, ProMix VR, please clarify what you mean, because I want to feel very good about myself. We don't need that Versi. We can remove these two. The aliens are unique in a weird and good way. Okay. Okay. That's good. That's a good compliment. Thank you. That's what I do want to go for, yeah. Weird in a good way. I do think I lack very much in, I don't know, all aspects of alien creation when it comes to, like, my own creativity, I think. Especially with texturing, though. I really am not good with it. Which Mothra thought, though, classic Monsterverse, can you give us a specific design? I just looked at Mothra and looked at all the Mothras, and I didn't see any that looked like it. The guy who made Godzilla Minus One is making another Godzilla movie. I'm very excited for that. I think I tried to watch the, what was it, 2014, I think? Godzilla movie with Bryan Cranston, but I really was not too interested. 2015 version? Is that, okay. It seems like a lot of vertices over here. But that's because they're being squashed and then stretched in the back. But is there any way I can remove this? I was trying to say that to Rob Player, sorry. Oh, you're fine. No, because then we're stretching this vertice, so we need to keep that. Okay. But that means we might want to slide these up a bit. Okay. Okay. Cool. I wish I had a tool where I could just relax the vertices, but I have to do it manually. When I'm apologizing, I can. I use retop a flow, but right here, or you can't see it. I cropped that part of my screen, but can't do that with this. Gonna work on this design a little bit more. Yeah, just doing a couple tune-ups before we start UV unwrapping. To be honest, I don't know how much this I'll be able to bring to the game, because this is just like a little, you know, warm-up stream, getting into the groove of doing these. And I'm probably rushing a bit just because I'm a bit, you know, I'm not the greatest at talking while working. Yeah, we'll see how much I can keep. Can we just remove this insetting? Do we need to do any of that? Can we just connect these two? No, I do like it. But I don't think this is done in a good way let's actually remove these. This is going to be so weird. I hope this works. We're going to remove these faces. We're going to flatten this. And then I'm going to push it back a little bit, just a little bit. And extrude, angle. Connect. Uh-oh. What's that about? Oh, I remember what's happening now. I forgot we reduced the amount of faces when we did this. I think I can still make this look better though. Let's go back to this step. Can we fill these faces in? We can't because we are mirroring right now, but we can still extrude. And bridge these two. What? Oh, I'm so stupid. It's fine. This'll work. Powering over normal Humongosaur. Oh, in Alienverse, what's with Ultimate Humongosaur towering over normal Humongosaur? I don't know. The sizes in the games aren't fully accurate. Is normal Humongosaur... isn't he smaller? Is it just a design choice? I guess. I mean, because I can't have actual size changes for Humongosaur without, like, a bunch of problems, I just went with, making Ult Humongosaur bigger, I suppose. So you still get that large feel. Any other details we can cut down on? It's just, I want to make sure these vertices are still not being stretched too much. That's probably why this isn't the best way of modeling, because we do get a lot of those stretches. But I think it's working. Okay. Those are some small faces. We don't really want that. Let's see if we can make them a bit more visible. And then we can also push them back so we're still getting that feel of it being extruded out. Okay, looks alright. And so we can look at Shade Smooth to see if there's any big vertex issues. This is it without Shade Smooth. And I'm noticing some stuff around the legs, the back legs, which does make sense because of this. We can work on it a little bit. Not a whole lot we can do though. Just pushing these a little bit closer, evening them out a little bit. Probably help. Yeah, still see them a little bit, but should be okay. And then we have some here as well. That's because we have these very squashed vertexes, so we can work on that. Okay, still there, but... And I see some weird stuff going on here, but I think it's just because we have that depth. Might be something else, actually. Oh yeah, it's something else. We got some weird stuff going on inside the mesh with vertexes colliding. So let's... Oh boy, let's figure out what this is about. Try and separate these. Okay. Honestly, we don't really have to inset the mouth as much as... Oh no, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Did that fix what we were seeing? I think so. Yes. Okay. I guess the next thing to look at would be the antlers. I do think I did make them a little bit too pointy with this choice. Like, do we want that instead? It might just look a bit more organic, even though it's more edge loops. Although we can probably cut down on one of these. Doesn't make a big difference. And then we can shrink them in a bit so we can space it out better. They need to be longer than the mouth, though. So if we do this, then we need to shrink the mouth. In fact, what if we dissolve those? Push these all in. Oh boy. Okay. I got this. Okay. What do we think about that? Do we like it pushed in more, or should it be... No, I do like it out. Yeah, no. Oh no, let's not do that. But for the antlers, where can I keep them? I guess maybe just a little bit back is okay. Yeah. Maybe they angle their heads down more when they're using these. Assuming these serve a similar purpose to earth animals, where it's like to compete with other males or whatever, something like that. No, I like that. Actually, push that a bit further. Okay. This is really stretched. Anything we can do about that? Okay. I think we're at the stage that we want to UV unwrap it, except one last thing I'm going to do is for these claws, all I did was shrink the face down, but now we need to actually merge those vertices into triangles, or into a single vertice, which creates triangles. Then while we're at it, we can also shade sharp at these points, mark these edges as sharp, which will give us a better look. Okay. I guess let's do it. Hopefully this looks good. So, for the UV unwrapping, which is probably the most boring step, if that wasn't boring, we just have to mark a bunch of edges that we're gonna basically cut from to unwrap this model as if it's like wrapping paper, but the other way around. Made no sense, but you'll see. So we can actually use the same areas we marked sharp, because we're definitely gonna have to unwrap from there. And then let's see how we want to do the body. Probably from the side. So we can mark this seam. And then this. And now we have this chunk of the body to work with, but maybe we can extend it out a bit like this. And then outline this area. I'm really not good at a lot of these steps, by the way, so don't take what I'm doing as the way you should do it. And I'm also rushing, so... But do we want to do that? Let's start with those. Yeah, let's wait. How about we try? Just changing around some of these selections. Yeah. Should be good. And then we can separate this into its own piece. Maybe here? Click mark seam. Now we have those all laid out. And we can do the tail. Let's do the tail now. For that, let's see where we want to mark. Maybe here. And unwrap it at the bottom. And then this gets very weird looking. Definitely mark here. Can all this be unwrapped together? Do we need this? We'll see. I'll remove it for now. What is Sundown about? I genuinely don't feel like talking about it right now, but I have talked about it in a lot of the videos on it. So if you go back and check the devlogs I made, you will know what it's about. And let's mark there. Okay, how do we do this bit? Sorry, my chair is super squeaky. Let's try this. Oh, I hate that actually. But let's try. And then this will be unwrapped. Okay. Alright, let's see if that does anything. And so what we can do now is just to see if those changes or those marks were good. We can unwrap it and look at it. So do you see the blue areas on here? Those are the areas that I have unwrapped. And it looks like I did a good job. We want blue, but we can see from these other areas that they still need to be unwrapped. And so it looks like none of my changes were that bad. We didn't see any yellow in areas that were obviously modeled by me. Like this is the worst right here where you get that light blue, and that's pretty okay. So it's just these three areas. One of those is definitely the antlers up here. And yeah, I think we can actually separate this into two halves. Yes. That's the easiest way. And then, like, look, if I do that, and then we go back here, unwrap again, you'll see that one of those areas that was really messed up is gone. Excuse me, is gone. Just like that. I'm just imagining Subnautica, but cooler because it's made by RLS. Oh, thank you. No, it'll probably be Subnautica, but not as cool. But you're right about the Subnautica part. God damn it. Well, I will say, I've seen a lot of, and this is really, really unfortunate. I've seen a lot of stuff going on with Subnautica 2. But it's with like the developers, not developers, but the producers of it or whatever, being really bad in like costing the developers like millions and millions of dollars, like hundreds of millions they would have made. So in that respect, I think my game's gonna be cooler, because that's definitely not gonna be happening over here, because I'm just a single guy, unless I steal for myself. But I think that's okay if that happens. Let's mark that. We'll get back to that in a second. How's this piece? What if... Mark this. Remove this. Because we're mirroring, we're automatically gonna have a seam along here, so we don't really even have to mark it. I just prefer doing it. Okay, so that clears up some other issues. You see how this was really getting into some green? Well, now we only have a little bit of green, and so we just have these two spots, and these two are definitely the legs, because we have not done the legs yet. Okay, what do we want to do? Let's see if we can breeze past this. Let's just do some simple seams. Just the obvious. Okay, and that's not all of them. We're going to need to do some more, but with that, let's see what we're now seeing. We should see a lot less yellow. There's still probably going to be some pockets. But look, it's now more separated, and none of that red. Just some green, honestly. Oh, we have some here. Oh, that's orange, but yes. So we want this to be as blue as possible, and we're seeing that we're getting closer and closer to that. We want to make it blue, but also without separating every face on its own. You want to still keep it as together as you can. I'm not good at that, but the way I'm doing it should be fine. Should be okay. Okay. Yeah, with squares, I don't know what to do except just to, like, do this. Which is a lot of seams, but I don't know what else to do. And then we can split down the center. Or, I mean, you better do that from the back, because you see the back of the foot less often. And check that out. Okay. Seem to have done something somewhere. Not really seeing a big difference because of that. Oh, over here looks a bit cleaner. Yeah. Oh, we're also gonna have to get to the head. That's definitely causing some problems, is it? Oh no, it actually looks like it unwrapped itself pretty well, but we'll work on that too. Back to this foot though, because this is definitely part of the problem. Let's switch to slick seam so we can see. Yes, that's not good at all. Which indicates, right, okay, the reason a couple of these aren't looking good is because we actually haven't added in. So the way I unwrap cylinders, and the way that anyone does really, is that they take the front and the bottom of the cylinders, and all those edges, they mark as seams. And then they just do a line down part of the cylinder, and then they just unwrap it. Basically like, I don't know, like wallpaper, or like a poster. That poster comes like wrapped up in a cylinder, and then you unwrap it, and it's like a square or a rectangle. That's what you're doing here, but the opposite way around. No, the same way around, yeah. So we just need to mark these vertices, and that should automatically just be a big boost. Here. What gave you the idea for the ultimate playlist in the game? What So there's a show, a Ben 10 show called Ben 10 Ultimate Alien. That was my main inspiration. Okay. See, that fixed most of our issues right there. And you see, he left them with these rectangle-like shapes. We do have these pockets. And are those the claws? Yes. Because these also need to have those lines. Done. Okay. So, that's not the worst looking. It could be better. Let's look over here. How is this unwrapping itself? I don't understand this. What if we separate it here? Does that look any better? I meant about the omnitrix on the chest. I know what you meant. I know what you meant. I don't remember. I think I was just thinking like, oh, what's a cool design? And I was like, ooh, he's wearing like some sort of, I don't know, harness. And I was like, oh, put the omnitrix there, and we'll make it look in the shape of the omnitrix. I don't know. I'm sorry. I wish I gave you more details. I think this is okay. Let's just look at this. Let's get rid of that green if we can. Here, yes. The green is one of these faces. This one. So, look, it's just so stretched. That's what's happening. Is there any way we can unstretch this face? Without, you know, stretching other faces around it too much. How's that? I think that's better. Look, so now that does even out a little bit of the green. You know, could be better, but also check the angle look. Okay, so there are some areas here that could be worked on. The area's good, but angle, I'm seeing these are bad. Oh, those are the claws for sure. The rest is okay. It's still, I mean, this is really not good. And actually, to fix that is simple. That should do it. It didn't? Oh no, those are actually fine. Never mind. What are these? When the stream is finished, I'm gonna binge watch all the Sundown vlogs. Oh, thanks. I'll warn you, they're not great. I'm still getting into the groove of those. I have so much to show about the game, and I'm just having trouble formatting them the way I want to. Have you played Galva? And is that the new Ben 10 game that I saw someone made a video? I saw the person, I think who you're talking about. I saw the video they made. I didn't watch all of it, but it seemed awesome. Like I'm not gonna. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic. Is it back? It's back. It's the cord on my mic is so bad that if I touch it, it'll stop working. Sorry about that. What I was saying is that that person, the Galvin game or whatever, is probably much better than mine because I'm making my own dreams, and they're a more skilled developer than me. But I have not personally played it because I don't play a bunch of fan games or a lot of games because I mainly make them. That's where I like spend my time. A little bit better. Yeah. Well, let's check the angle or area view. Does that help more there? Yes. Okay. So what is this? Ah. Done. Awesome. And for the claws, I play. It's a cool game. Yeah. Or a good game. Yeah, I totally believe that. I do think where Dreams offers some interesting opportunities is that it's just so easy to make things that, like, I can just do commissions pretty easily. I mean, it still takes a lot of time. It takes hours and hours to add aliens, but compared to what it would take in a normal engine, I think it's quicker, at least for me. So there are definitely some improvements or pros to using Dreams. So now we have packed it. I think I'm going to pack it with a bit more of a pixel margin, just because with pixel art, I don't want any overlapping issues, so we can do like 10 pixels, which is quite a lot, but I mean, yeah, let's do 11. Okay. Oh, and let's even do a high. This might cause OBS to lag, so sorry about that, but let's do a higher stick shirts. Alright, good. That just gave us an even better packed mesh. Okay. Wonderful. Now we can do the fun part, which is texturing. So we can keep these guys on the screen, actually. How do I want to do this? Well, first, actually, one more thing I want to do is we were talking about adding in some details onto these horns. And I said I was going to get back to that. And the way I'm going to do that is using a single mesh plane. And this is a really... If I do make a request for an alien, can I request Kevin or Gwen? Yes. You can check... If you check the price sheet that I published on... well, I've changed the prices since then. Here. One moment. I will pull up. I made a website. I have not talked about it yet because I'm still working on some aspects of it, so I apologize for that. But... How do I bring this up? Here. I have made a website, and there is a commission section where I have it all listed. It's very simplified now. Before it was a lot more complicated. Aliens, playlist levels, arenas, free rooms, characters, they have simple prices. Once I talk with you, the price is going to go up or down, depending on how much content's in it. If you're requesting a playlist that has all aliens that are already in the game, obviously that's not going to be $80. So yeah, these are just the base prices, but we will certainly talk more. But yes, if you wanted to request Kevin or Gwen, it would be $25 for both of them each, like 50 for both together, whatever. Okay, cool. So I'm going to be using a single mesh plane for this detail. So we're just going to have to align it how we want. And this is the coolest thing about doing this in Blender, because stuff like this is much harder when you're using external programs. In fact, if we want to, we can even have this conform better by giving it a edge loop. Like this. So it actually bends a little bit. We don't need to do this, but I think it might be fun, so let's go with that. So now we have this big surface area up here, and we don't want that shape. That's not what we want, you know? But we're going to work with this. We're going to actually paint the alpha. You'll see what that means. But first, let's mirror it. Great. And in fact, we can mirror it, apply the mirror, edit mode, select one of them, and then click selection, mesh, sorry, separate selection. Great. Do we want to do that? Yeah, texturing is fun. I sometimes make mods that change textures. Oh, cool. Do I want to do that? What I just did? I think I'm going to wait, actually. Let's keep it mirrored for now. And then we can quickly unwrap it. Or actually, no, that unwrapping's totally fine. So. Now, let's apply this. No, we'll keep the mirror even. We'll keep all the mirrors. We're going to click on Yuku Paint. Sorry. I'm gonna reveal some personal information. When I am hungry, like, I start burping. I don't know why I do that. I don't think I should have said that, but that's what's happening right now. Okay. Let's set up the node setup. And now, so Yuku Paint is basically an add-on which allows you to do layered texturing in Blender, along with some procedural texturing as well, and allow you to, like, edit the different channels separately. It's great, but for me, what I can also use it for is for pixel art for these models, because let's start by making a new image. And so, look, we can set the resolution and change the interpolation. Normally, you would get if you switch to a lower resolution, you'll get a very blurry image. But if we switch to the closest interpolation, we're going to get pixel art. For this character, we can try a resolution of 200. Let's see how that looks. So now if we go to texture mode, texture paint, we can texture onto this character. Look at that. So what do you guys think about that size? I think it's a little bit small. So that means we can make a new image. Delete this one. Try 100. 145. That's a dumb number. We'll do 150. Okay, I think that works. And then we can just texture. You can see the areas that it's not the topology is not great. You do get stretching, but where it is good, you do get these perfect cubes or squares. And you're seeing here on the tail, we shouldn't be having it appear there, and that's because of some UV issues. I think what that means... Sorry, I'm moving all around the place. I think what that means that we need a bigger pixel margin. Let's see. Is this working? Yes. I paint there. There's a paint the tail. It didn't. Where's the tail paint? Here. Yeah, see, it's overlapping with the tail at certain parts. Yeah, with this big of a pixel size, we do need to increase the margin. There's definitely a better way of doing it. I have not discovered it yet, but for now, that's the way I do it. So I'll just go back to UV, unwrap, minimum stretch, pixel margin. We're gonna just set to 30. Quite a lot. Try to reduce some of the issues. Okay, back to texturing, and we can just do it here. That did actually increase our pixel size as well, so then we can go back to 200 now. I know this is very dumb, but just bear with me. Now, does this cause any issues? It does not. Anything here does not cause the tail to paint. Perfect. So we can just decide what this character looks like now. It's that simple. We can start with a base color. So for this character, what color did I originally have them as? I think it was a red, which does make sense because this is in a molten biome, and so, you know, we want the color coordination, but I think maybe a blue might make it stand out. We can also just really quickly, in the shader that this created, we can turn specular off. Okay. That'll just be how we actually will see this model in the game. Yeah, so what sort of color do we want for this guy? As the base, at least. We need to make sure that gray works well with it, because we're going to have the gray armor on top. I think gray works with blue or red. I mean, any grayscale color can work with a lot of colors. Do you want to try something like this? Sure. And we can change that later. So, I'm still very bad. This is the step that's new for me, by the way. Like, this step that's very new. I'm still very bad with Yuku paint and texturing in it. I am doing this with my hand, with a mouse, instead of a pen, which is what I should be doing. But we can get to the texturing bit. So, I do really like using procedural textures and brushes that how do I say this? pre-made, like, what's the word for this? I like overlaying image alphas as well to give details, so I'm gonna do that as well, probably. Just to show what I'm talking about, I can create a new texture mask. Is that what we want? I think. And it didn't work. Oh, we need to click this. Yes. And I'm gonna just take this off screen for once. Well, how do I do this? Because then you'll see all my apps. Here, let's just go to the chatting screen real quick. Hello. Because this just shows all my files when I open it up. Go to the right setting, the right section of my files. Okay. Let's try this texture. Okay. Does that look good? It does. Now let me go back. So I can now paint with this neat looking brush, but really what we want to do is then switch our stroke to anchored, and look at that, we can create these cool patterns on our creature. And so this is from a pack of what do you call it? Ever played any From Software games? Those are the Souls games. I've played Elden Ring and Bloodborne. Not B either, because I'm horrible at games. I probably just didn't invest enough time. So this is from a pack of sculpting alphas I bought a long time ago, but I was able to convert them into brushes I can use now for this. So you can imagine if I set this to like a black color, we can get some interesting looking details like this. So that's why I was wanting to switch off, because I think this is a neat way of modeling where you do get a lot of those details. What type of game will this be? Survival, exploration? You need to check my videos on it. But I do think this might be a good way of getting some textures in, right? Just so I don't have to draw everything, because I'm really bad at drawing. So we can do something like this. And then we can modify it the way we want to. We can start with this. And then we can do an underbelly, and we can do the armor. Yeah, this is good. So let's make a new layer for the armor. Let's get to that now. Dim resolution. And for this, I can try painting it. So we'll get rid of our texture. Yeah. Set our color to gray. More gray. Actually, more gray. Even more gray. Or more black. And then look at our brush pack. I'm just looking for something that gives us a little bit of noise. Like this. Yes. That's what I want. On. Let's make sure we get that rib cage sort of look to it. How are we feeling about this armor so far? We actually have the armor continuing to the horns and have them be an extension of it. That might be neat. Getting her strength up for this. And I'll get to these planes soon. The the squares right there. This will make sense shortly. Okay. We did cause a couple issues here, so let's just fix them real quick. We can switch to toggle eraser, and then just erase those bits of extra gray. Okay, so we can have that as the first layer, and then do a second layer of black. Okay, and for this we can do another brush. So I think I'll have to do that again with my screen. Apologies, I'll figure out a way of doing this. Texture, mask, create a new one, open up the library. Now what to me looks like armor? I wish I could show you guys, sorry. I could do cracked armor as a sort of look, or scales. Scales. Do we want scales? No. I think cracked might be the look. I'll do a weird looking type of cracked sort of thing. Okay. You can see it right here, what I'm gonna do. So then we switch our color to black, turn our strength lower, switch to anchored, and we're not getting anything. Why is that? Okay, now we are. Okay. Okay. There we go. So what about like this sort of detailing on top of the armor? It's getting a little bit busy. And it's not really communicating that's armor, I feel like. We can turn down the opacity of this, so we just have a nice little bit of detail that gives it, which I do like better. That's nice, yeah. But how do we, further communicate what this is and what's happening here? We can still change the base color layer, I believe. So we can still change this if we want a different look. Like we can still go with a blue if we want. You guys have any opinions at this time of what I should do? Or how this guy's looking? Let's quickly... I'm going to quickly show what these planes are for, and then let's get back to texturing the base model. So these planes, I'm going to paint on the alpha for them. That's how these are going to work. So, what I can do is I can go to the color channel. No. Where is it? Yeah. No. Yes. We turn on alpha. And then I create a new layer. He looks dirty. That's okay. We're going to create a new resolution here. Do we want 50? 40. Let's try 40. So now this is the really cool thing you can do. I can then paint on the alpha of this. So for this, let's switch to paint hard, because we don't want any sort of offset. And look, I can then paint details on like this. Switch to face. Yeah, look at that. So I can create custom little design, and it'll apply here. Why are we getting that? We're getting a couple UV issues. Let's fix them real quick. Sorry. What is causing that? Is it over stretching or something? Whoa, that's weird looking. Still getting those. Huh, I don't know what is causing that, but it's actually a very easy fix, so it's okay. Right, isn't it easy? Can I just erase it? Or I can also try texturing this in the painter. I don't know why this looks so odd. If I paint here... Yes, I don't get any issues, so I can just do it like that. So we can create the design we want. There we are. Something like that. And ignore all the weird stuff going on. So we can just paint on the look we want, but we do want this to be a color. What color do we want? We can do... Well, it depends on what color we want the base to look like, but definitely a lighter color than whatever this thing ends up being. Something like this, maybe. Give it a blue, maybe, or some other color. Add some detailing. Yeah, like this. For this, we can turn the strength down. Okay. Go back, and now look at that. That looks good. Yeah. Isn't that cool? We might change the design, but isn't that neat that I can add these little extra details? You see this stuff in games all the time. That is neat, thanks. But it's something that was a lot harder when I was modeling in Substance Painter rather than directly where I was or texturing in Substance Painter, opposed to where I was modeling, which is Blender, which is where I'm now also texturing. But anyways, I do really like that little detail. But I do think red might be a better color for this guy overall. And we can make these red later. But do we want a lighter color or what? So let's go back to texturing. So Purple Mix BR said it looked dirty. And I can agree and see that there are some negatives to that. So I can work on that. Let's start by just labeling these. So we're going to have this be called Armor Detail. Armor. And this will be Skin Detail. Sure. So we can then put in a new image. Back to 200 resolution. In between, and have this work on the skin a bit. In fact, sorry, let's not do an image first. Let's try using some of these other tools. So we have ambient occlusion, which gives us that extra bit of shadow, you see. So we want that probably. That'll definitely help our model. And then we can use this for other details as well. So if we want details only in the crevices of our models, we can use this. For now, though, I think we'll just keep it like that. Okay? And we can actually put this all the way at the end, can't we? Yes. Or we're getting a couple issues. Let's keep ambient inclusion for later. I'll work on that. But that's something we can do. We can have fake lighting as well, which gives us this. You see how we have black on the bottom, way on the top. If I move this all the way to the bottom, we won't... Yeah, we'll get this look, which is something we don't want. Fake lighting, I think, is only supposed to be used as the mask for something, I think. Or as a different type of mix. Bro, where'd you go? What do you mean where I go? I'm still here. I'm still here, right? Hello? Am I still here? Okay. I think using this as a different type of mix also could work. Yeah, so with that, look, okay, that's actually really good. Look, that actually makes this like a lot more 3D. The screen went all black. I'm still here. That could have been an OBS issue. Can I push this all the way to the top or no? Yeah, okay, that's good. That's good. We want that. But back to what I was doing, and we can control how much of this we want. We also have a gradient. Yes, this is what I was looking for. Oh, we have a dust. Ooh, that's good. We have a gradient, and so this is what I was going to use to add in some extra detail without looking too dirty. Uh-oh. That's not what we want. That looks really bad. That's because it is not doing it on the right location. Is that what we wanted? Oh, actually it is. We need to turn the gradient. I've never actually used this before, so I'm doing this all for the first time. This is it. Yeah. Rotate it 90 degrees. Now we have ourselves a gradient, and we can then use this as a mask for something. Wait, so actually what I want to do is create a solid color, set it to some bright red or something, we'll see. Then, as the mask for this, create a gradient. Set that gradient, set that gradient to generated for the vertex, and then rotate it. I can't see anymore. Why is this so stretched or squashed? Okay, there. 90. Uh-oh, can't see it anymore. What? Gradient? Where's... yeah. Push it generated. Okay, there, that's it. Then we just need to rotate it. It seems to be working. Okay, oh, negative 90. There. So now we have this gradient which we can use to give it some extra nice looking detail. And we can put that before or after the skin detail. We can choose. Okay, look, doesn't that give it this nice gradient feel? And obviously I know this still looks bad, but I do think that just is going to help it look a little bit better. And we can switch this to any color we want, so we can have it go from red to green, or red to turquoise. We can have it turn to blue, or we can just have it turn to a different shade of red. Whatever we want. I'm switching the solid color now, I think. No. Yeah, I am. I'm switching the base. So we keep that base as a red, and then maybe go to this color and switch that off. Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities here for what we want to do. I do think we need a lighter color. A less saturated color. Ooh, how's that? What if this is a bluer tone? Or maybe greener? Oh wait, that's good. That's good. Hold on. I like this. I do like this. But maybe just a bit redder. No. How do I get this to look nice? And I'm seeing a way to fix the dirt, by the way, right now, but just trying to get be a nice color. Sure. Yeah? I can always go with just straight up gray. Because this guy is gonna swallow ash, so that could work. But then how do I distinguish the ash armor from the gray skin? Oh, that's why I could make the skin... What if I make it black, like this? This isn't fully black because we have the gradient. That actually might be something. I don't know why I wasn't doing that earlier. If we turn down the, if we turn up the gradient, we'll get more of that. Yeah. But then we can't see it all, so it can't be fully gray. Uh-oh. No, come back. No! Blender has the worst redo and undo of all time. Anytime you click undo, especially when you're texturing, it messes everything up. God damn it. So I have to go back and fix that. Okay. This is not my fault. This is Blender being horrible sometimes. There. Okay, we're pretty much back. Those are so good looking. Okay. I think, what's this guy's name if you picked one? Yeah, the original name was Ash Toad, but seeing that it doesn't have much toad to it now, we might change that. I think that's okay. I'm still not the hugest fan, and we can switch how much this gradient we have on. Do I maybe want to, do that, and turn it down a bit? It's just getting so dark. Sure, I think that's okay. Because we're now going to add some extra detail to it, which will make it a little bit better looking. We'll turn off the fake lighting while we're working on it too. Okay. I think we should start working on the mouth detailing. That'll make it pop a bit more. And we're going to call this skin gradient. 200. This can go anywhere. And we'll just start drawing this in, and then we can. Well, no, let's pick the color we want. I do think we could have some sort of green involved. I do like that color. Can I airbrush this on? Yeah. And then we can also try messing with this rake tool to give it some extra details. It could be neat. Yeah. We like that color though. The problem is I don't know if we can really switch the color if we do it this way, so I might want to only do these colors using solid colors with masks. That makes it incredibly easy to just switch the colors whenever we want. Oh, this is perfect. I can just create a mask like this. Oh. Okay. And do I immediately start painting the mask? I do, okay. Sick. See, this is like my second time using Yuku Paint, so I'm learning a lot. And I'm gonna get better, because I know this isn't great, what you're seeing right now. Yeah, let's go back to here, try out some, or that rake tool. Ooh, like that, yes. More intense. Ooh. Ooh. We could see about that for something later. But now I can... Yes, look at that. So we can switch the color to anything we want. So we can do... Well, it should be a... Realistically, it would be a grayish tone because it's... They're inhaling ash. I guess no, because this is just the tube. We want it to be black. If we do that, then we can't see it. Actually, that color looks nice. We can keep that for now. I'm just going to start doing some various details, and you guys tell me what you think, okay? I think I'm going to try to do the eyes now. Or not eyes, details up here that might look like eyes, but aren't actually eyes. And yes, I just made a new cube layer, which we don't want to do. Forgot. What we're gonna do is just solid color masks. Yes. It shouldn't be on. No, turn this off. Switch to space. Okay. We can look at these references again. I was kind of thinking of doing something like this, what this guy has. But for that, we do need to have a lighter color to highlight space. Actually, yes, let's add some... Let's try and do a light color accent thing going on. Let's try to do that, and see if that makes a difference. And for some areas like here, going up, we have this light color. Making a sort of dome look at the top here. I don't know. Where's the eraser tool? I just clicked something I don't think I was supposed to click. Oh, there we go. Okay. But still, the eraser tool's gone. Oh, there we go. Okay. No, that doesn't really work with the shape of this model. We need a different solution. So I do think we're gonna probably have to change the gradient to a different color. I mean, something like that's fine, isn't it? And then what if we add in another color? More on the purplish side, the pinkish side. Is it airbrushing? Can't tell. Oh no, we're on black. White. Yeah, so we can add these some extra color like this. But this might be overcomplicating it, you know? Do we want that skin detail at all? Is that what's causing us the problems? I mean, we need something to add detail to it, but maybe that skin detail is too intense. Maybe we want to soften it down. Does that help us at all? Let's add some freckles to it. Let's try that. Let's get rid of this. Then particles. No. Oh my god, okay. Okay, that's good. Make them, set to white. Wait, actually, let's make them a little bit bigger. 10 pixels. Some freckles. See if this helps at all. Just trying stuff out. Then we can switch them to be white. Ugh, okay, that's awful. Well, hold on. Turn their strength down. And then, armor is really... The strength of it should be much higher, so that's causing some of the issues I'm seeing. Go back to the armor and see if we can make it look better. Just picking the right tools, sorry. Not the rake, why don't I choose the rake? Oh, I guess this is called strake, that would make sense. Let's use the airbrush. And the strength very high. Get the right color. Okay, just start doing stuff. Okay. What software are you using? This is Blender. Okay, now let's go back to these dots. Do they have any place in the design? I can make them part of the ash actually, that might work. Okay. I still don't like what's going on there. I might want to make the armor out of a texture, like a scale texture. Let's try that actually. I don't think we'll have time today to get to the rigging part, but I do want to keep working on this texture until I think it looks okay. I'm actually delete the armor. Turn off armor detail for now. And then solid color with image mask. Set this to gray. Yes. Then we're gonna select a tool. Just need to select the texture from my files real quick. Alright. Now, if we set our stroke to anchored again, we get this. You see those scales? So we might be able to make the armor out of this. What are you thinking? I think that's working, like, really well. It's a good idea, thanks. I'm just not a fan of this, the look for this guy yet. I think it's just too saturated. Do we want to change this to a different color? Well, it can be black now, I suppose. Then we have no blue accents. And do we want blue accents? I think so. The skin also is very soft and undetailed, so we probably want some of that. We can try out some of the features inside of Yuku Paint for that. Because I saw there was this dust thing, so let's try that out. Oh. Oh, so this is a mask. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's not gonna help us, but... There is also noise. We can try noise. But for any of these, we do want to make our own solid color first, so let's do that. Looks great. Really? Oh, thank you. I know this isn't the best. I really want to, you know, crack this model real quick. Like, figure out what makes it look good before I have to go. Is the noise there? I'm not seeing it. Oh. Hold on. You see that detail? Okay. That is something. That's something. We can use this just to give a little bit of texture to the sky. That'll help, I think. Oh, you know, we can actually switch the type of noise and use this to give it cracks. But I think we're okay. We'll just do FBM. Okay. So this do a very low amount. And that should just... Yeah, now we actually do have a little bit of texture to our guy. A bit too much still. Let's turn this down. We shouldn't have that big of an impact. Wait, should this be set to add or something else? Overlay? By chance, will this game have a gallery type thing to look at the models? Yeah, it will. I'm glad you think my models are good enough that you want to look at them. I don't feel that way myself at the moment. Let's just do that. It gives us the slightest bit of extra detail. Actually, I'll note that's way too fine of detail. We're doing pixel art. Why is it so much? I think it's because our mask isn't applying. It doesn't have that resolution that we set. But if we were to bake this, we would get the right resolution. So let's keep it at a low setting, and that just gives us a little bit of extra skin. But okay, let's figure this out. We need to figure out this different separated body parts of this creature. That will help our model look less homogeneous. So, what are we using? Any of these layers? Are any of these not being used? Just the mouth? It is. We're somehow using all these layers. Okay. This one, do we still need this? No. Remove that. Okay, create a new one. The color we can change, so let's just keep it... Well, let's make it blue for now. Whatever. Okay. And we're going to use this to separate the mouth into its own separate thing. And we don't need this texture anymore. Yeah, so we can just paint in this section. This is purely just to separate it. We will give it a fitting color after. Oops, fix that. Okay. Hey, not too bad there. So now if we switch this to a different color... Oh, wrong thing. What is this? Is this the mouth? I wonder what that is. Okay. We can then give this its own color. And that, I think that automatically makes a big difference. That definitely makes it look better to me. And I am noticing a bunch of little small issues there that we'll fix. But what sort of color do we want? Honestly, white doesn't look half bad. Especially if we then increase the mouth. How do we do that? Oh, of course, we can just do a ramp. I'm stupid. Still getting used to this program, or this add-on. Yeah. If we increase the harshness of that, I think that's something. And let's fix the issues we caused. Yes. Okay. That should be a little bit better. And up here we can add in some more. Oops, we made some more mistakes. Okay. Alright. I kind of like that, guys. I kind of like the look of that. You tell me. But I'm going to continue this until I get negative feedback on it and try something else. Or start adding in some more details. I'm thinking circles. I'm thinking I'm thinking circles up here that then have like black dots in the middle. I feel like something about that made it look like a Pokemon. What's this guy do? I see. Fake eyes? Not, I mean, no. The creatures in this game don't really have fake eyes. Like, creatures, it's just another sensory organ, and sometimes sensory organs aren't eyes, look like eyes, you know? That made any sense at all. Or one long thing. Is that too sci-fi? Depends on what we do with it then. And break it up. Eyes along it, or dots. No, none of those details are looking nice to me. What do you guys think I should do here? You know what? While I'm waiting on that, let's just make the claws gray. Jesus Christ, come on. I gotta do that at least. I don't know why I have not done that yet. This is something I could easily do in texture paint mode, or more easily do. Is that our texture? No, that's that man that we got earlier. That's not the texture either. No, it is. This is the one. Yeah, we're working on with this one. It looks so good. We've isolated for just this texture now, I guess. That's interesting. Yeah. So where is that? It's here. So we can just texture straight on that. All these triangles, where we see triangles, we can paint. Okay, it is working. Oh, is this one not painting? Oh, it is. Okay. It was lagging. Come on. There. And any others? I think there definitely is. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. With all those together, I think our claws are now... They're painted. Okay. There. That's one thing done. If we go back to our main view, we now have claws. Good. But okay. Back to this model. Maybe you can use these creatures from Avatar movie as a reference in the future. Yeah, I should probably have some of them as reference. They're great, yeah. Totally. Okay, let's just mess around a bit. I don't know. Honestly, fuck it. It's gonna be black. I missed the last two streams. How? I don't know. I've been doing streams. I'm sorry you missed them. Which is our gradient? No, that's our detailing. We're doing this. And then we're gonna highlight it with pink. Yes. We're gonna give it pink highlights. Maybe. Let's see. I just need to figure out, like, what am I trying to do biologically here, you know? Do we even need details there? Where could this benefit from for detailing? It could have a pattern. Oh, okay, wait, that looks neat. Hold on. Why? This is... We should not be seeing this on top of the armor. It's so dumb. I had 52 millions to my game? Yeah, I did have 15 millions to my game. That's true. Well, I'm adding them. They're not done, but yeah. That is what the title says. Is that anything? Honestly, wait, what if it has, like, yeah, like, gills that that show its, exposed skin, and that skin is this pink tone. We can do that by, using... this? No. No. This. Use your brush size. Oh, wait. We'd have to do this from the beginning. Okay, wait, let's try that then. Around the head, maybe? What do you guys think about what I'm doing? I could make it black and just have it be a slight detail. But I want this guy to pop a little bit more. To be a red. Yeah, I'm just messing around right now. Nothing really to say at the moment. Just seeing if anything sticks. Hold on. I don't think absolutely nothing about Blender, but this guy looks awesome. Really? You think this guy looks awesome? Thank you. For me, this is not... I'm not really enjoying how this is turning out. Maybe that means my standards are too high. I doubt it. But thank you so much. If someone likes this, then that means it was a success. That looks better. Yeah, I do like this sort of thing. But what is that? Is that like an exposed piece of flesh? I mean, it definitely looks cool. The back here doesn't, that kind of flounders. We can maybe have it blend out. We want the gills here. Oh. Well, this could be some sort of gill. If I had some details, but it's too hard. It's hard to with this resolution. We split up maybe? So his flesh, that's just a weird nose. Oh, okay. I will go with weird nose. That sounds good. I still think some segmenting might make it look a little bit less thrown together. Even though it is. Yeah. That looks good. That looks good. But then, do we like these? Do we like these, or do we get rid of these? Do I make them like darker like that? Like, what do we think with the gills? A difference between male and female? Sure. That I'm okay with that. That sounds neat. There's also the question of if we make the red bioluminescent, it can be the bioluminescent bits. No need to make them darker. Okay. Because most creatures on this planet do use bioluminescence, so this could be the glowing bit on it. But if we were to do that, then we would get rid of the gills and add a bit more ornamentation to it. I do like that. Can I blur that a little bit? Okay. Are you guys actually liking this? That's awesome. I'm doing the Minecraft thing with textures where they just blur it to make it look better. I'm guilty of that. It has its place. Can you guys hear my chair? Wait. Okay, looking at my mic, you can't really hear it good. Very loud. Alright, so the feet are getting lost a little bit. Should we work on that? Or do you think we're good? We also don't need to make this white. This can change color if we want. Gray might be better just so it's not the center piece. But we can have it be the centerpiece. And it can also be red. Any ideas, guys? Ah, still, I like blue. And we're gonna change these, of course. These things at the top there. I mean, yeah. That's good. This is a lot like Houndoom's colors, right? From Pokemon? That's a Pokemon, isn't it? I think one thing I can do, you know what? Yeah. One thing I can do to make this look better is by blurring this a little bit. But in a cool way, you'll see. So is that blurring? It is. Airbrush, set the strength to like 0.2, set it to black. Give us a slow fade in into the white. Oh, this is not working. Come on. If we do that and then we blur that. Maybe that's better. I'm in trouble with female being way bigger than the male? Sure. Okay, looking at it now, I do like this guy a lot, honestly. No, I like it how it was before. So I have an issue where a model, I'll have like an intention when I start modeling something, which is like, okay, this guy's gonna be called an ash toad. He grabs ash and uses it to make like an armor, and they're gonna be these small critters and blah blah blah. And then it ends up being something entirely different than what I thought. Like, remember, this was my original version, and this is entirely different. But you still get the base ideas. I think this is okay. I'm just wondering, like, still, we do have so much black here, you know? They didn't have the fake lighting on. If we turn that on, what do we see? That definitely helps the model. We do have some smoothing we don't want, but that will go away once we, export this. But, oh yeah, so, yes. Should we give it an underbelly? Would that be the way of fixing this? The only problem with an underbelly is that then we'd be having light on the top, light on the bottom, and that's kind of annoying to look at. Because you want the underbelly to be a lighter color. So do we do that, or do we just lighten the skin? Still though, because we have... Let's turn the fake lighting down. If we're going to use it, we shouldn't have it be at full intensity there. I don't know. Maybe a color like that. Let's just work on some various details, actually. Let's do that now. Like, let's give the toes black. We'll need a new texture for this. Come on, you can make toes black. What's happening? Why is this looking so bad? Yeah, actually, let's make them fully black like this, and then we can turn down the intensity of this after. Ugh, keep getting stuck in the model. And just fix a couple issues, like over here. Okay. And we can have a slight bit of that on the toes too, just to make them a bit more similar to the other toes. And more unique. Oh, but now we're affecting the flaws, so we can move this down a couple layers. There. Okay, I think we also want to give some highlighting to this divide that we have in the model. So we can paint around here a little bit. It's just so dark, it's hard to see anything. Painting in the dark there. Yeah, that looks good. And then we just got blurred a little bit. This is a bit shorter than the female, then maybe Then the female maybe a bit smaller than those big elf dudes. Okay, sure. Whoa, didn't mean to do that. Okay. And we also need to make the tail have that gray stuff, the gray bits. Which is that? Is this the gray highlights? That's it. Switch to that, and we can sure do this manually. We don't have to go into the image editor, so let's switch to airbrush, white. Shrink all the way up though. Make this go a bit quicker. And this is definitely not the most efficient way to model things using Yuku Paint. I'm very new to it. This is like, yeah, my second or third time using it, so but I do think for that, I think we came up with a pretty good looking model, honestly. Looking at it now, and let's fix these up real quick. Is there a way that we can just hue shift them? I don't know if this has that sort of capabilities, but that'd be incredible. Well, we can select the base color, and then are we able to change the sort of mix, or is that gonna it affects the alpha too? That's the problem. Is there any way you can not affect the alpha? No. Is there no way of affecting? No. Oh? Well, that's something. But now we've lost all the detail. I don't think so. Do we like that blue? I don't think so. Like, that's a bit too different from the rest of the model. Also, we can like add these wherever we want now, by the way. Like, that's what's so cool about this. We can just put these extra details wherever we want. It's not good to shrink them because then you mess with the pixel density, but we can. In fact, we can put these around the gills if we want. I like that. It's just the pixel. It's too many pixels. I have to change the resolution, which could be an excuse to remodel or to give it the right colors. Yeah, it doesn't look like they got. That doesn't look that good. Is what I was trying to say. But yeah, it's cool. We can like add these literally anywhere. If I wanted, I could have them on the back. That might be something. But I think it would distract from the armor idea. But I'll definitely be using this feature more often to make stuff. It's really fun. But okay. I can work on getting these to be the right color. And also, I can turn down the specularity so that they are also not shiny. And we have this. What would you guys rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? How do we feel about this? Oh, and we also need to turn this down. No, not that down. This. Not that. Where's the black that I painted for the toes? is that? I only see 2 blacks. 7.8. Okay. Here it is. Lower that down a little bit. Yeah. I'm good with that. That's pretty good. One last thing to do will be to bake this, and I don't know if I'm going to use this one just because this was just an attempt. I was like trying to see if I can model cool looking things in this, and this is my first full model I've done with this strategy, and I think it turned out pretty good for my first try. So yes, what we would now do is go all the way up to, where is it? Here, and click Bake All Channels, and select the same resolution we used before, which was 200 by 200. Switch the interpolation again to closest. I have a pretty good GPU, so we can switch to that. And we should be good to go. And our model now pretty much looks the same. It was gone for a second. That was scary. Sorry. Let's try that again. There. So that's pretty much the same, but now the fake lighting is now baked on. And if we were to shine a light, let's just make sure this looks good. Let's go to render view. Yeah, we're having there's some shadows that are a bit odd, but there is detailing on the chest, on everything. It's just naturally dark. Looking at it in different lighting conditions, it does seem to be all fully there though. So if I think I have enough time where I can. I'm gonna rig it. That'll be the last step. So to rig it, and I'm gonna go through this as fast as I can. I'm going to go to ARP, Auto Rig Pro, add armature, add empty. Then we're going to start by adding in the spine. Yeah. So this tool basically just makes it very easy to add inverse kinemax to rigs, which is why I don't do them manually. This is just a lot easier. Is that enough? Let's add one more bone just in case. Okay. Then let's add the tail. For the tail, I'll use tail. Flip it around. We'll need one more bone for this. Okay. Here. There. Now let's do the legs. We'll do the right leg. Looks like our model's pointing backwards, which is okay. Let's just flip it around. That should be okay, actually. I'm not sure, but... And we don't need any... We do have 2 toes, so let's do those. So we'll use the middle and index. Actually, this could use 3 bones for the leg. Never done that before, so hopefully it works. Okay. Pull these back. Positioning these onto the claws. Okay, let's do that for the other one. First, just move these bones to position. These are supposed to go across the foot to show its width, and pushed behind it, I believe. Be good. Okay. Alright, last bone. For these legs, we still have the front ones. Hopefully that works. Check for any issues. This can be moved down a bit. Other than that, I think this is okay. I don't know what this bone is for. I think, oh, this goes in the middle. Is this right? Okay. Let's hope. And then once this is done, we then just duplicate it. There. Those are both the feet. The front ones will be comparatively a lot simpler. Oh, we also need to set this to be a quadruped, or multiped. Otherwise, the spine would not function properly. So we can turn off all fingers. We don't need to move these toes. Should be good. Duplicate that. And the last thing, I mean, do we need the mouth to move? No. Do we need the horns to move? Maybe. The horns aren't supposed to be articulate, you know? So this should be fine. Aside from any issues. But let's see. So now we have matched it to the rig. I'll definitely have to do some corrective weight painting, but with this we can then select the mesh. Yeah. And bind it. And now let's see how that looks. First, we always check the feet. The knee looks to be placed wrong. We want it to be up here. That's a problem. But these feet are perfect, it looks like. I mean... Looks like I might place a bone wrong, because we're getting some weird sorts of movement here. But, do the claws work? They do. Good. And the torso movement... Oh, we forgot to parent everything together, so that's something we need to do. Let's see. Tail, fully functional. And... Oh, the horns seem to be moving perfectly. Okay. Look at that, that's great. That sort of movement. Wonderful. So let's go back and do those sorts of corrections, see what we can do. Yeah. So to fix the knees, that will be tough. I think that means we have to move this bone all the way up here. Something like that might work. Not great, but... Well, like that, yeah, yes, that actually might be pretty good. And then we can delete or disable is what it says. Those bones duplicated again. For the feet, I think that might have been caused by me, I don't know, something here, I think. Maybe if I move this up, it'll be better, I don't know. And then we have to pair it all together, right? So click these two, click that, control, keep offset. Those two, control P, no, click that, control P, no, control P, keep offset. Okay, that should be it. Let's match to rig again. Select it. Bind. Okay. First for the feet. That's correct. They are now functioning. And these feet. About the same, I'd say. Still not great, but I mean, the amount... Yeah, I'll definitely... Maybe I should look back on that after... Wait. Oh, I see. The knee is positioned wrong on this one too. Okay. But for the rest of it, if I now move the torso, you see that those, the legs now also move. And this is the center of it. So look, I can now do a little dance, you know? And that's always the test. The rest of it, though, is looking pretty great. Okay, let's go back and do this fixes. Any odd-looking animation in this game can just be explained with this is an alien that does that. That's true! That's true! Hey. That's true. Yeah. Where is the knee on this? That's the problem. I'm not gonna pretend like I have the perfect or even a good strategy for, like, modeling these, because you need to really think about the biology a lot more, and if you do, it's gonna look a lot better. So I do want to get better about that, because, like, I should know where the knee is, you know, on the base level. That's something I should definitely know, but that's okay. That should be better. Any other issues? No, that was it. So let's just duplicate the mirror. Match to rig. The knees are now positioned correctly, yes. And if we skin it again, yeah, these feet now also move correctly. Same with the toes also work. Yeah. Hey. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic again. Is it still working? Hey, it is. Look at that. We now have a rigged guy. So, the last thing I'm going to do for this stream, and we did do all the steps I said, except maybe make animations, but I wasn't sure about that, is let's just do a little test render of this guy. Except there is one more thing we need to do, which is you'll notice that those planes are moving with the horns. So for that, we're going to first have to separate these. So why isn't... Yeah, click on the plane, modifier, apply, select one of the planes, mesh, separate. Then we're going to go... We're going to select one of these, then select the armature. Select this bone, click Control P, bone relative. Done. Actually, wait, both these meshes aren't gonna... Since the horns are moving, they didn't even have to be taken apart, but, or no, they did. But we can actually group them at the same time, parent them at the same time. Here, Control B, bone relative. Done. So we switch back to rendered view. Uh-oh. Oh, no! Did it really get rid of the texture? Did Yuku Paint do that to me? Did we literally lose the entire thing? Oh, come on. It did this to me one other time. I didn't know... I had hope it wasn't going to do it again. Look, all of the different image masks are just cleared. Well... this is a good... I just have to redo the texture. We still have the model in the rig, so that's not too bad. But this was a good foray into this sort of texturing. And it is pretty unfortunate that Yuku Paint deleted my texture again. But I guess in the future I'll just have to immediately, like, download the textures and that might do it. But, hey, it's not the worst situation. It wasn't the best texture ever. And I can always look back at the stream to see what I did for that. So I do think this was a pretty valuable little exercise, though. We made a pretty cool looking alien. Like, even if I don't keep the texture, which I can't anymore, I do think I'm going to keep this model and use it in the game. It looks great. So thank you guys for helping me with it and for being here. And I believe next stream, well, next stream I'm definitely going to be coding. I'm not sure what I'm going to be working on, but I am going to be doing some code, almost certainly. So I might be working on the HUD or the crafting system, something like that. So if you're interested in that, please be there for that, I guess. Sorry that, I guess at the end of the stream, it turns out that, like, a good chunk of it, like an hour of it, was for naught. But that's okay. The thing that stuff like that happens, it's fine. Yep, the texture is gone. The McDonald's fries is gone. It's fine. It's fine. In the future, I'll figure out ways to stop that. That is one thing that Blender is worse with than other tools. But that's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. Thank you guys for being here, and I will see you in the next video.